Finding a new job can be a job unto itself. Perfecting a resume, scanning career websites, networking among friends and acquaintances, the dizzying amount of work can turn the excitement of a new career chapter into anxiety. Job searches of the future are going to be completely different, giving a different experience with technology doing most of the heavy lifting. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving technology space. And I'm your host, Priya Dialani. Now, the job market of today moves at a very lightning speed, and when we're using AI for job searches, it has the potential to be a very important tool for job seekers. With AI technology constantly advancing, professionals now have an amazing advantage at their fingertips. So, if you're aiming to stand out and move up in your career, getting on board with AI for your job search could be a very well game changer. But how? So, we have Mr. Manikanth Challa, founder and CEO of Workroot, who will help us understand the significance of technology in recruitment. Hi, Manikanth, how are you doing?
Hi Priya, thank you for the introduction, and I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us on our podcast. So, let's start with telling our listeners more about the company Workroot, what exactly it does, if you want to highlight any features or specific features or services.
Absolutely. So, Workroot's a career development and recruitment platform where
Mm-hmm.
we focus on helping job seekers and job providers get connected to each other instantly. And also, we do have various suite of solutions that help various stakeholders. So, we do have certain platforms and products that help job seekers in their career development, whether it starts from building an interactive resume, and then creating a resume, video resume, being able to like kind of have professional formats that could be showcased to any employer instantly. The second step is that, after a job seeker does create a resume, we do have the platform in such a way that they can directly go and explore opportunities all in one platform itself. Now, coming to the employers do get a talent pool where they could kind of, look at profiles from based on their requirements and directly interact and connect with job seekers. So the way that we've built Workroot, from the very beginning, we understand the field of recruitment is a vast, module where you have a lot of stakeholders, whether it's the education institutions, staffing companies, employers, job seekers, as well as the government. So our platform caters in a different way for every stakeholder. So far I've explained to you how it works for the job seekers. A little ahead to that is, we also have a Workroute that is catered specifically to edtech platforms, universities and colleges, as well as staffing companies. So I'll take a moment more and explain to you how the B2B side of the talent providers, when I say talent providers, I again refer to any organization that is providing a pool of talent, whether it's a college or a firm or an edtech company, is we give them access to our platform where the administrators or the placement officers or the HR recruiters can access the pool of talent of their workforce, and they can engage their talent through the platform. The talent part of the organization also gets access to the platform where they avail all the premium features, whether it's accessing all the AI driven features of the, what Workroot offers, as well as exploring opportunities. So once their profiles are streamlined and standardized in the platform, they directly have the ability. When I say they, I'm again mean the talent providers. I'm going to take an example of an education institution or a staffing company in this reference. Is let's say that they have 25 pool of talent, and they have imported the talent. It's completely standardized in the platform. Now there are active opportunities available on the platform where the HR recruiter or the candidate part of the organization or an individual could directly, look at the opportunity and apply and directly interact with the employer there. So when I say interaction, that starts from applying for a job, shortlisting a candidate, until the selection of the candidate and sending the offer letter and the candidate joining. All end-to-end tracking mechanism can be conducted and performed in the platform itself. So this is ideally what we do with the B2B and the B2C side of the stakeholders. Interestingly, in our journey, when we started Workroot in 2017, the goal was, to keep it simple and seamlessly, accessible in terms of the interface for any stakeholder, where they quickly swipe right to get a job or swipe right to, find talent. We still have the similar interface, as well as where we've kind of built upon various modules that are, what the market needs in today's world. while we work with completely on the private sector with the B2B and B2G, we also work with governments in helping them build digital employment exchange platforms for the private sector. So one such thing is Workroot is one of the first companies in India to collaborate with state governments in building digital employment and skilling exchange platform. What I mean to say by this is we provided a white label platform to the government of Telangana, and we've also worked with government of Andhra Pradesh in the past, and we're in discussions with various other states. What we do is when we do give them the platform acts as a medium for job providers, job seekers, as well as skill providers, where they engage with each other and kind of explore opportunities, explore various skill programs that are provided by various other, organizations which are private or public. So it kind of comprises in all of this completely for the private sector, but it's something that where the collaboration with the government kind of helps more of the skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled workforce also to explore opportunities. So overall, in terms of our features and services at a high level, this is ideally what we have been doing. And very recently, we've also kind of expanded globally with our enterprise software platform, where Workroot specifically caters to the staffing companies across the world, where they could completely take the enterprise platform, completely put their manual workflow management into their system, and kind of automate how they drive placements and how they drive talent management in their organization and with their vendors.
Great. This sounds interesting and quite fascinating. Thank you for giving such a comprehensive brief and understanding of what Workroot does. And definitely, it feels like it's more of an app that helps to bridge the gap that we have in terms of job acquisition and retention as well. You also seem to be a very young founder. You're the CEO of Workroot, and you have an extensive experience as a solution-oriented entrepreneur who believes in understanding the minute details of challenges faced by the society and accordingly processing them to provide robust solutions. So when you're talking about Workroot, what is the inspiration behind Workroot, and if you can also highlight your role and contribution towards the company.
So a little background about myself is I've been born and brought up in India, in Hyderabad, and I've actually moved to the US for my undergrad, and I've lived there for a couple of years after my undergraduation also, and worked with various founders who were, back in 2015, 14, 15, who were employees of Microsoft and Facebook, and having directly worked with them kind of gave me a learning curve as to looking at things and how you solve problems instantly and seamlessly, whether it through be it through a mobile interface or like where you're actually simplifying a problem by breaking it into multiple steps and then making it very easy for them. So that's a kind of background or kind of foundation that I'm coming from, having worked for various product-based companies in the fintech and the social networking space in New York and San Francisco. That kind of helped me start looking at various other problems and how they could be solved. And my personal interest was always to move back to India after my undergraduation and having gained a couple of years of experience. And I had the privilege of doing that at a very early stage in my career. When I moved back, I took some time. I was exploring various industries and various domains as what is being solved and what the key problems are. And having done my undergraduation there and having moved here, I really found it very difficult to find an opportunity, in an instant manner, or interact with the employer directly without any middle, management between any other third party stakeholder. And that kind of triggered, a part of my mind saying, okay, there has been the likes of Uber, likes of, Swiggy, that were prominently coming up in India. And thanks to, Reliance and Jio, where the mobile usage and the mindset for people also to get into more of mobile usage was increasing then. And when you could order food or you could book a transportation instantly, finding an opportunity or being able to kind of quickly build a profile should be as simple. You don't necessarily need a time and day for you to like sit down and be like, okay, now I want to create a resume or now I want to find an opportunity. That's to be something that you're constantly looking for what interests you, and that kind of inspired me into getting started with Workroot. And having worked in the social space and the fintech space where we were dealing with consumers and providers, where both the stakeholders are involved, it kind of helped me build the whole product vision or the journey towards how a job seeker or a job provider could quickly swipe right to find an opportunity or talent. And yeah, that's the starting point of where Workroot started, and eventually we've grown as a platform and as what our offerings were. And yeah, I mean, I'm again coming with the whole product background, which kind of helped me build the experience, the interface, and I understand technology because I've done my bachelor's in information science and technology. So that kind of helped. And started it on my own and then formed a core team that has a lot of experience in technology, in recruitment and HR. And yeah, that's how we started, and our journey has been great ever since.
Definitely an impressive journey, Manikanth, I must say. So when we're talking about the job market, I think conversations with some of of leading players or small players in the job industry or job search and recruitment have revealed that probably the job hunt landscape will look very different in the few years from now. Though their approaches of matching worker and employment may differ, but all have agreed that the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning would streamline the complexity of matching work to talent, and the job search and recruiting experience of the future will involve more face time and less of resume spamming. So when we're talking about artificial intelligence, I want to understand from you, like, how do you think artificial intelligence can enhance job search as well as onboarding the right talent?
Got it. So interestingly, you've asked me that question. So we do have various elements of AI that are induced into the platform at different workflows or different processes. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as you said, resume is going to be a foundation of a candidate's profile. But for a candidate to prepare a resume, there has to be avenues where you make their life a little more simpler, and you want it to be a relevant profile. Yes, beyond that, you always have the virtual encounter where you want to understand more about the candidate. We also have that element of it where candidates can do create and have video resumes where they're quickly introducing themselves on the platform itself. But a step ahead of it, when we talk about AI, a couple of instances where we use AI is, let's say that you are interested in a job description and you would like to apply for it, but you would like to see where you stand with the job description, and you could quickly, enter that, or take that job description and compare it to a CV, and we kind of give you analysis instantly about where you stand, what is missing, what you could learn immediately, or where, like, what is the kind of skill set that the job description is looking at, and where you stand. So that's the kind of one step of AI where we kind of compare a resume to a job description. The other is, we kind of also help people construct sentences through our AI resume writer, as we understand and capture details like, what is their interested domain, what is the skill set they have. You want your resume also to be more on the quantitative as well as the qualitative side, and most oftentimes your expect recruiters are looking and interested to see the kind of growth that, or the kind of performance that you have kind of performed in the company in terms of metrics. And we kind of help the AI writer also provide recommendations in such a way. And the third piece of it is we also provide an AI resume analysis, where the goal is to eliminate or cut down the involvement of a manual resume writer, because you don't want another individual coming and writing the resume for you, or somebody else coming and telling you that the grammar is wrong or the punctuation is incorrect. So with instantly the user creating a CV, when he compares or he requests for that AI review analysis, we kind of look at various criteria, whether it's the grammar, the usage of verbs, the punctuation, whether you're really talking a lot in pronouns, or are you really referring to how, what sort of an impact you've created in your role in that organization that is represented on the paper. So these are various avenues of AI that we use as of now. And going ahead also, what I see is, yeah, I mean, the lot of spam in terms of resume happens. That's also because there's a lot of format issues, and they're not really organized in a certain way, because recruiters across the globe are expecting certain templates or resumes to be in certain formats that fit into the ATS or make it easy for anybody to explore the CV. Like let's say that in a case that I'm interviewing for a role at your organization, and you would like to know my face and how I talk and whether it represents my resume, like you would quickly want to look at my CV while we speak in this interview. So you need a URL. So we provide a URL to we provide a URL to any customer that they could quickly open it and check out the resume, as well as a video introduction also. So even before I get into the video call, you know that a little bit about me, how my basic communication skills are. And these are the kind of avenues that we're kind of inducing in our workflow, making it easy for B2C as well as the employer standpoint.
After listening to it, I think Workroot majorly aims to solve one of the most painful problems in the career and recruitment industry. I think it's helping companies find the right talent instantly, and also assisting job seekers in building resumes and becoming job ready. Um, But moving ahead, when you're talking about artificial intelligence, I think these systems often rely on vast data to train their algorithms and improve performance. Now, when we're talking about workload, I think the data that we're talking about can include personal information of people like names, addresses, financial information, or sensitive information such as their medical records or like a social security number. So the collection and processing of this data can raise certain issues as to how it is being used and who has access to such data. So how do you ensure data privacy and security across Workroot?
See, we do have certain, encrypted mechanisms that kind of, over the network that kind of save the information where, we don't really let all of this information to be out. And also we give the consent to the user end of the day if they want to make the resume available and enabled in terms of the URL. So you always have the option of enabling it or disabling it if you like the recruiters or the employers to see your resume whenever they have access to your URL. In addition to that, we don't capture any financial information or social security numbers on the resume, because we understand that whatever is provided on the resume, job seekers in today's world are very clear that that is public information, because they're already using a number of platforms. They're forwarding their resume to a lot of people. So that's the ideal information which they could find on professional networking sites also. So that is the information that ideally goes into a resume in a formatted manner that sits in and helps them look at relevant opportunities. In addition to that, any personal information that they have, which is not something that they want to list on their resume, even we don't come into play there. When they directly interact with the employers, that is something that they communicate with the recruiters and companies.
Right, definitely makes sense. But um, when um, uh, when in today's world, where of course definitely technology is changing how we're applying to jobs, or how job seekers are approaching respective organizations for their respective positions. But somewhere I think it's still efficient because uh, now, for example, if I'm a job seeker, I have to send out many applications to find a position, and then recruiters have to sort through high volume of candidates and resumes before finding the perfect fit. Now, the work on AI, I think that is happening in the current industry, that helps recruiters understand what fit actually means in a way, and they can also predict it. And if they can predict it, they can make the right matches faster, and wrong matches are less often that way. So, any key partnerships that help you drive innovation at Workroot, and what makes like Workroot different from other organizations?
See, over our journey, we've had various collaborations and partnerships with national and international companies over the course. In when I look at India, we've connected with organizations like NASCOM, CI, FICCI on various elements, and we've also connected with various other state governments. We've also been to Niti Aayog a couple of years ago on various discussions. How you could strengthen the employment exchange networks, because we were coming with a lot of use cases with what we have from running digital employment exchange of Telangana with the state government, Telangana government. And along with that, we also had global partnerships and collaborations like with companies like Equifax, where we've engaged them in various elements where we could help more and more companies get access to more companies, where if they want to do any background verification services that they could avail, and as well as if any job seekers are looking to avail any credit reports or something that they could kind of get connected. So yeah, we've built various collaborations in the past. How it also helped us evolve as a product, evolve as a platform or a company. And yeah, we're always looking to collaborate with very like-minded folks. Even as we speak, we're still in discussions with various other platforms and organizations that both the parties could benefit from.
Great, glad to hear about it. And I think it's very important to manage innovation at such level because it's not just that you need innovative features, but you also need like an inclusive, innovative mindset as well across entire organizations. When you're talking about technology in terms of recruitment, so I think um, let's also talk about the flip side where I think it can also bring various challenges as well. Now, earlier I spoke to you about data security and privacy, but I guess we still have a problem of AI bias, and I think that could negatively affect a company's recruiting efforts and even open up for the organization towards legal action. Now, before Recruit, you have also worked with several startups, and you have you've primarily interacted with founders of different ventures. So, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in your entrepreneurial journey, and also if you can highlight the challenges that you currently face at Workruit as well, or overall challenges of the entire recruitment industry?
Overall challenges in terms of the entire recruitment industry, I would say is obviously, you have a resume, you have a profile, but end of the day, in that moment in the interview, you would like the candidate to have the skill sets that is claiming at. And that is something that until and unless you speak to the candidate, you'll never know, if everything that is listed on a paper or that is, that you're coming and speaking about is true or not. So obviously the transparency or, checking whether everything is right is one challenge that even today, not just smaller startups, even big corporations go through the same problem. And another key problem that we've seen is uh, lack of communication skills, soft skills, because I feel it could be any role, blue collar, gray collar, or white collar in any domain or industry. Communication is key now, because that's the only way that you could work with other stakeholders, whether it's remote or in person. And we see that a lot of talented professionals who are very skilled at what they do are still kind of being categorized as priority two or something because they lack communication skills. And there's a big problem that as together the whole industry and the whole staffing companies or the whole recruiters have to come forward, and even the bigger corporations have to kind of address it. And in terms of challenges I've faced in terms of my journey, I wouldn't say challenge, but as a first time entrepreneur, you learn a lot of things from the beginning, and you make mistakes and you need to overcome them. And in all of this, you really need like-minded core team with you. To finding that core team might take time for few people, might not take time for few people. I was fortunate to actually having found that core team at the very early stage of starting Workroot. But making sure that everyone believes in your vision. That's something that as any founder would obviously wish to kind of have. And yeah, those are the kind of challenges that you kind of come across or see, and that's pretty much it. Rest all, I'm sure you've heard from a lot of other founders. They would probably give you the same things as making sure that the product is right, going into the market, getting initial traction. All of those struggles are there for anyone.
Yes, I completely agree with you, and I think I very much like your point of the necessity of having a core team, and of course, the challenge associated with is that it takes time to have the right people in the core team and ensure that everybody is aligned towards a common goal and have a shared perspective towards growth opportunities and scalability. So, in the future, I think we will probably witness. Like the job search platforms and services will probably become more like an educational hubs because they're planning and shifting towards giving the necessary education and upskilling ways for job seekers and as well as for the job employers as well in terms of how they can find the right talent. So having said that, how do you see the future of artificial intelligence or technological integration in the recruitment landscape? And if you can share your vision for Workroot as well.
In terms of how we look at the future of AI in the recruitment landscape is, see, AI is going to help you, get a candidate towards the closure element of it, but it is never going to make a decision for you whether this candidate is right for you or not entirely. So, I
Right.
mean, as being in the recruitment industry, I think employers should also have that sense of thought that AI is going to help them, but it's not going to make the entire decision for them. So, as
Hmm.
long as it's going to help us, streamline or shortlist a candidate from, let's say, level one to like level nine, the 10th level is always going to be where you need the human intervention to come into play and then decide whether the candidate is right or not. But in addition to that, see, I mean, what we've also done right now is we've seen a very big struggle that a lot of staffing companies have been facing across the globe, because we've been interacting with a lot of companies in the US and also in the Middle East and the Southeast Asian markets. And we see that a lot of people are spending a lot of time on manual workflow management rather than automating certain processes that could kind of help and boost the organization's revenue more, or activity or like productivity more. So yeah, with what we're doing with our enterprise software is also where we're adding elements of AI where a recruiter could collaborate with his workforce. He could figure out who's available on the bench. You could instantly push a profile to any employer instantly, and all of this is driven by AI. So I feel, uh, again, looking at one piece of it at a time, the vision of Workroot is also kind of to help companies, consultancies, HR recruiters, colleges that have a pool of talent get access to opportunities quickly.
Right. Very well said. And one last question for you would be like, would you like to give any message to aspiring entrepreneurs or job seekers, or any tips and tricks that you would like to share with job seekers in terms of enhancing their overall job acquisition process?
See, in terms of giving tips to aspiring entrepreneurs, I would definitely say is as long as one is focused and determined towards solving a problem, uh, not entirely being emotional about it would actually help you solve problems in a better way. Because the more emotional you are, you're not going to look at the problem from the user's point of view as much as you're going to be looking at it from your point of view. But otherwise, that anyone looking to get started, start their first entrepreneurship journey, stay focused. It's not going to be an easy ride. It's going to be a very challenging, but how focused you are or determined you are is kind of going to help you get to that final result. And end of the day, it's whether it's a success or failure, it's a journey that you have to enjoy and love, that you're part of. So as long as you're in that mindset, then even if you have a great day or a bad day, the next morning again you have to go back and thrive the same way, in terms of what your vision or goal is.
Right, definitely. And to conclude, I think I believe job seekers and recruiters will spend less time on the drudgery of the job market and spend more time in face-to-face meetings. And I think this is all because of AI and machine learning will make matching more efficient. Uh, but I think the certain elements of a job search are still simply incalculable by artificial intelligence. Now, for job seekers, it's more about finding a candidate that's perfect for the role. But for someone who is looking for a job, I think they are looking for a job or a place that's aligned with them on an emotional level. Whether that job gives them the feeling that they are fulfilled, or whether the people that are kind, or people they want to work with are something that can help them grow over a long period of time. So I think we will still witness a more innovative integrations and more developments in the recruitment landscape, considering the integration of technology. Well, thank you so much, Manikanth. It was a pleasure having you with us on a podcast. I think we gain a lot of interesting insights in terms of the development of technology for the recruitment landscape.
Thank you so much for the discussion, Priya.
Thank you, Manikanth. So this is for our listeners. Stay tuned for our upcoming podcasts, and you can listen and view our previous podcasts on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.